knows how you come across somebody once in a while you shouldn't have messed with. That's me.
I am not an African American.
You're an Oreo cookie, white in the inside and black on the outside.
I don't have an afro, I have an Amerifro.
Talking that idiotic stuff you talk about, I would slap you.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Black as the ace of spades, but 100% American.
Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
I want to just give you a quick example, another example of what's happening in our country as a result of the destruction of the family and men are not in control. In the right way. I don't mean macho men or men who think they're tough. I don't mean those who are driven by ego. I mean those who love what's right and they're guided by the truth and good, and they're doing good. All right, just to be clear here, in Boyle Heights is like a suburb of Los Angeles. It's east of downtown L.A. and it's a housing project, and residents are on edge after a firebomb attack on 4 homes. And they say that it's gang and drug activity, but I believe it's more than that. What's happening is you have all these illegal aliens coming into the country, right? And now that we have these illegal alien children, over 1,000 a day coming in, a lot of them, it's not a suburb. Okay, it's the inner city. You're right. It's the inner city. It's just a little inner city called Boyle Heights. It's a housing project area right outside of downtown L.A. It's between downtown and the East L.A. area, for those who don't live in this area, California. So these illegals are moving into the urban areas around the country. And when they move in, they are bringing destruction for black people. For example, in Boyle Heights, it was predominantly black at one point. But then the illegals came in, and now it's predominantly Hispanic. And these folks hate black Americans. Even in Mexico, if you're dark black, dark skin, then you're hated, you're looked down on, even in Mexico. So they're bringing that same attitude here in this country. And in May of this year, and I'm sure most of you haven't heard anything about this, there was a firebomb, and they're trying to run black people. These Hispanics are trying to run the few black people that are left there, they're trying to run them out of Boyle Heights housing project there. Here is the first firebomb attack.
Other news now, strong feelings tonight after a town hall meeting at the Ramona Gardens housing project in Boyle Heights.
The meeting was called after a firebomb attack on 4 homes in that area, and now there are growing fears it could rekindle racial tension. Ramona Gardens is a public housing development located just north of the 10 freeway in the community of Boyle Heights. It's been plagued by gang and drug activity.
The community meeting was called by police and fire officials after some neighbors expressed concerns that African Americans live in 3 of the 4 units that were attacked with Molotov cocktails in this largely Latino community.
We are trying to determine motive. We are trying to determine whether it is gang related or if there is some type of hate crime issue involved.
But some of those who attended the meeting, like Lynette McDaniel, who has lived in Ramona Gardens for only 90 days, says she's had enough and isn't waiting around to get the answers, but is moving out ASAP.
I don't want to be around this. I don't want to have my daughter around this at all. So it's better for her. I'll be all right. But this, I don't know what to say about it. And I don't want to continue to deal with it. So, I'm going to move on.
Isn't that amazing? And the police trying to determine if it's hatred or racism or whatever. If it was you can answer this question for yourself, folks. If it was white gangs bombing the homes of black people in that area, what would it be? Racism. Al Sharpton, Jackson, NAACP, Maxine Waters, and everybody, their mama would, the black college students, everybody, their mama would be protesting downtown LA area right now. But this happened back in May of this year. You've not even heard about it. There were 4 units in one complex area there, and these Hispanics went in, and there were three of the 4 units were lived in by black people. They firebombed 3 of the units, but the one unit with the Hispanic family, they did not touch. And you think that's not racism? Here's the controversy over whether it's race related or not.
The rumor mill in this community is filled with speculation that the attack may have been racially motivated or gang related. And the police asked us not to bring cameras into the community meeting because they said some residents would not speak out if news cameras were present for fear of retaliation. This man who attended the meeting with his young daughter confirmed there is a climate of fear for some who live here.
Some people, if somebody saw something, people are afraid to speak.
But others who attended said after the meeting there is no racial tension in Ramona Gardens, and this lady warned that people shouldn't jump to conclusions about who carried out the attack before the facts are in.
We don't know who did it. LAPD doesn't know who did it. So why do the news say that Hispanics and African Americans are at war when we're not? We're all friends here. I have African American friends. We're not at war.
So I would like to know from this woman, there were 4 units, 3 black families living in 3 units, one Hispanic family living in the 4th unit. Why was it that only the black homes firebombed? If there's not a race war going on there. And Maxine Waters and NAACP and others are in this area, folks. Not that they live there, but they're supposed to be, quote unquote, representing those black people. Have you heard one word? And this is really to my black audience as well, listeners here. I want you to see that your black so-called leadership does not care about you at all. They don't love you. They don't care about you. They only want power and wealth for themselves. They're only using you, and they only come out when it's white on black, when it's white on black. There's money and power when it's white on black. There's nothing when it's Hispanic on black. KTLA 5 says that a $100,000 reward is offered in Boyle Heights, firebomb. People are scared at Ramona Gardens' apartment. Listen to this.
Scared of living here, really scared.
Liliana Mendiola and her little sister live right next door to one of the 4 units firebombed last month here at the Ramona Gardens apartments in Boyle Heights.
I'm really worried it would happen again, or that someone's going to die.
This is a crime that strikes right at the heart of public safety.
A police task force today released this surveillance video from May 12th, showing 8 people running down a pedestrian walkway over the 10 freeway into the gardens, lighting and throwing Molotov cocktails at the apartments, then fleeing back toward the same freeway. Because 3 of the 4 targets, though, are rented to black families in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood, this is thought to be a hate crime.
We are concerned that if in fact this is the case, that we have to do everything to put these people behind bars.
I'm an African American.
This mom is afraid to show her face. She lives right across from one of the targets and isn't sleeping well.
You have to stay and try to deal with the racism and whatever else is going on here.
And is that tough on you?
Yeah, it's tough on me. It's more tougher on the kids. I had tried to, keep their self-esteem up.
Isn't that something? They're discussing. They're trying to make sure that this is a race issue. Would that be the same story if white people were doing this to the black family? Or if blacks were doing it to the Hispanics? this Mexican woman wouldn't be saying, well, they shouldn't be saying that it's a race war. The blacks are there are only a handful of blacks living in that community. Where are your black leaders? Where's the media? Here's the final soundbite on this. $100,000 reward. Fear keep people quiet.
A $100,000 reward is being offered now in this case, but fear may offset its impact.
Most people don't want to get in other people's business. Most people like me, I'm behind the screen. I don't want my face seen because I don't want this to fall back on me. Most people don't want to get involved.
And the majority can't leave.
And it's scary. I'm not safe here, but it's the only place we could live, so.
So they pray tonight that the bombers are caught before it happens again.
Now this reminds me of the KKK days. Then they used to firebomb blacks. But no, they called Joyce Zimmerman a KKK member for one thug. But black families are under attack. No media, no Obama. You ever heard Obama said if I had a son, he would look like these family members? These black family members. Black Americans, you gotta wake up and start thinking and doing for yourself. These folks do not care about you. Let me go to the busy phones. I'm looking at the clock. Jarvis out of Nashville. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, man, how you doing?
All is well.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I was just listening to you about the Mexican and the black thing. Yeah, we had that, going off down here as well. When they first, when a lot of them first migrated here, and they brought their little MS-13,
yeah,
the Renos, and all the other little. So I was telling you about that once before. They used to come on outside of the railroad tracks and right on the walls and try to shoot at you, whatever. So yeah, we've been, and then it's got something to do with that Mexican mafia stuff. That come from around California and Texas. So,
right. A lot of those Mexican gang members and black ones too migrated from California to other parts of the country, and I'm surprised at some of the locations they're in right now.
Yeah, and the Mexican mafia people gave a green light on anybody who's black, especially out there in California, because I know a few old people that I know when I was running in the gang from out that way, that they told me the same thing. The Mexican mafia gave just like a green light. If you see them, shoot on sight type of situation. If you see a black person, just kill them. Don't matter if they're in a gang or not. Out
in the valley, here in the L.A. area, out in the valley, black people were given a warning from the police department to be careful when you walk the streets, when you're at the bus stops, because the Mexican gangs are just killing blacks at random. They are randomly killing black people, and there are gang members in Maryland. I was surprised about that. There's an area called Highland Park here in L.A., right outside of downtown. It used to be a beautiful area, mostly white, and now the Hispanics have taken over that area, and blacks are at risk when they go out there now.
Yeah, when they were here, when I was still doing what I was doing, we smashed them so bad, we pushed them back into their own little section, though. But they got a whole little section, but when they came here first, they was doing a lot of stabbing and killing and going on. But we ran them. They came to the housing project where I was located, and we ran them out of there. We beat the hell out of them.
But isn't it interesting, though, the point that I want to make from this story is that I want black Americans to realize that Jackson and those people, Obama, they don't care about black people. If this was white people doing this to black people, they would be all over it because it would be an opportunity for power and wealth for them.
I'm going to tell you what they tell us when it get real heat like this. They'll come and tell us that, hey, y'all are brothers. Y'all don't need to be doing this. But if the white people come through there, they're going to say, well, that's just the way they are.
Yes.
That's the way they do it. I'm telling you, they didn't have. That's how they did us when they tried to make us come together, which it didn't work. They said, oh, well, y'all guys are brothers. Y'all both brown people, or whatever the case may be. It was the Nation of Islam that did it. They had like a big meeting and try to get everybody to be friends, which didn't work because that turned into a big fight. But that's another story. But,
yeah, they do want to give the impression that, quote unquote, people of color are getting along, and it's absolutely not true.
Yeah, that's crazy, but that's all I want.
Amazing, man. Thanks for that testimony. Thank you, Jarvis.
All right.
Wow. I'll come back to the phones right after this break.